Kpop Demon Hunters. Honestly, I think the hardest part of me selling this movie to anyone is that title right there. Kpop Demon Hunters. Guys, trust me, it's good. While not the same team, it was animated by the same computer animation studio ImageWorks that worked on Over the Moon and the Spider-Verse films. Following a group of 3 K-pop stars that do indeed hunt demons in their spare time, via both their musical and physical prowess, they serve as the guardians of the lone barrier between the human and demon worlds. In their pursuit of sealing this evil once and for all, there is only one thing standing in their way. The demon boy group, the Saja Boys, who, via their cool moves and breedable complexions, seek to steal away both the hearts and souls of the fans, cause division between the 3 protagonists, and give rise to the Demon King. You know, maybe it isn't just the title that makes this a hard sell. As you can tell, the plot itself isn't anything groundbreaking. In fact, most of the foundation of Kpop Demon Hunters really isn't either. Storytelling via music has been Disney's shtick since the inception of capitalism. The visuals are very reminiscent of its Spider-Verse sibling. You've got the romantic side plot to satisfy the horn dogs and the action to satisfy the corn dogs. K-pop as a genre has blown up over the past decade, so it wasn't necessarily surprising for a large production like this to take a crack at it. From a bird's eye view, all of these decisions were relatively safe bets. Yet, and while I very much enjoyed both the Demon Hunter and Chainsaw Man movies, Kpop Demon Hunters will very likely go down as the best animated film of 2025. So how did they do it? I think it took me roughly 4 minutes, or until the first class food scene, before the following thought first crossed my mind.
Oh, here we go.
Everything that I mentioned about Kpop Demon Hunters being samey up until now can pretty much just be thrown in the trash along with my song tier list that I carefully curated and nobody agrees with. This show has character in spades. It oozes personality. Insert 100 more sayings that emphasize how easy to love this show is. From the over-the-top visual comedy to the incredible soundtrack, there is never a dull moment throughout the entirety of its runtime. While the unhinged nature doesn't quite fall into Bocchi the Rock levels of degeneracy, it gets pretty damn close. This doctor screaming, "I see!" as his eyes balloon up to anime proportions. As this dude's abdominals are revealed, we go through the 7 stages of heart emoji, 6-pack, corn on the cob drool, throw some butter on those things, sizzle it up, and explode into a salty treat that is absolutely hilarious. This tiger trying to stand the pot he knocked over up for an unnecessarily awkward amount of time, just because. What I'm trying to say is that this show is funny. I was gonna say that its flavor of comedy felt specifically targeted towards younger generations, but frankly, I think it's just funny to people in general. Kinda like how K-pop in general is becoming more and more widely accepted worldwide. My first exposure to it was through my League of Legends addiction in 2018, when a virtual group called KDA dropped the song Pop Stars to promote the World Championships that year. I'll be honest, I'm not really sure what makes a song K-pop. To me, it usually sounds 90% English with some Korean sprinkled in, but what do I know? Oh, right, I know what I know. I know that the Kpop Demon Hunter soundtrack frickin' slaps. It's been 3 months since I watched the movie for the first time, and in that span since, I've probably gone on, I don't know, 60 plus runs because I'm a psycho and value cardiovascular health. I have listened to no less than 3 songs from the Kpop Demon Hunter soundtrack on every single one of those runs. What it sounds like, golden, free, just picturing myself jogging along to the cadence of soda pop is so cringe-inducing, but it's the truth, and if nothing else, I'm honest. From simply a musical standpoint, these songs hold their own easily. But given the context from where they appear in the movie, along with how the lyrics seamlessly flow between scenes, it is just mwah. All of the main performances serve as these big development moments for our characters, where the lyrics better communicate the story's message than any of the dialogue prior. Musicals are all about these big moments. The story kind of builds up to them, so when they bump, they have all the more impact on a viewer. Makes the show way more memorable as well. When you hear the song out in the wild, say while running in a quaint park amongst the elderly, you not only vibe with the song, but the emotions evoked from the movie or that specific specific scene whose memory comes rushing back. Throw in both animation and sound effects from the show that sync up perfectly to the beat, and you've got something special. I challenge you to tell me something more satisfying in animation than when both the music and visuals are feeding off of one another. There's a reason why Disney movies have been so big for so long. Musicals and animation just go together. It's a perfect harmony. And at the core of it all is as relatable of a theme as you're gonna find: coming to love who you are. Self-doubt is something that we all deal with to some extent, covering up who we are, trying to fix ourselves instead of letting the jagged edges meet the light instead. Yeah, I'm a bit of a poet. It's a simple yet powerful and especially relevant idea when set against the modern challenges of our vastly interconnected society. So, in the spirit of the movie's message, I have this to say. I love Kpop Demon Hunters. Yes, you heard me. I love a show named Kpop Demon Hunters, and I am not afraid to say it. I mean, I'll still cringe a little and smile awkwardly if forced to say it in a social environment, but I'll still say it. Also, Rumi best girl.